Hello and welcome to In the Library with
Michelle.
and I'm Adrian, and we're coming at you from the tail end of May.
I know. That's hard to believe that we're here already.
I know, right?
Crazy.
It's going to be June and then July and then Christmas.
Christmas. We can wait a bit for Christmas. Let's enjoy our summer first, huh?
Summer all the time.
Oh no.
We're going to get
start to sing.
We're going to get copy struck by Disney now.
We're gonna...
I don't know if they can copy strike it. We're not getting paid anything for this, so
That's true.
we'll just pretend. So, before we get into the meat of what we're here to talk about today, what have you been reading?
I started a book that I got in Scotland called The Familiars.
The Familiars.
Yeah, it's a witch story set in Scotland. So it's...
You had it on the mind and you're like, I'm going to read about it since...
Well, no, you want to hear something funny? So I went to Wigtown, which is the Scottish book capital.
Mm-hmm.
And all the stores are literary themed and the cafes. So I went into this bookstore. It's called Reading Lasses, and it's owned by all women, and it's fabulous. And there's books everywhere, and the decor is amazing, and the baked goods. Oh my gosh, I took stuff home. And
Hopefully you paid for it.
I did pay for it. I did. And then I was looking at this particular book, The Familiars, and I saw it on the shelf and I looked at it and I put it back, and then I wandered around the store some more, and then I was online waiting to get seated. And this book that I had just looked at, like maybe 5-10 minutes before, fell off the shelf right at my feet. And the women standing behind me went, I think you need to get that book. I said, I think I do. So I was not messing with it, and I took the book. And, a lot of the Scottish people, particularly in the Highlands, this was not in the Highlands, but in the Highlands, are very, very superstitious, and they're very, very into that stuff. So I was like, I am not messing with anything. I am taking this book home. So that's what I'm reading.
Okay, but hear me out on this. What if that's how they sell books, is they rig a little machine that when somebody looks at a book, it just
That's okay. I'll take it. I was looking for a new book anyway, so I just hadn't decided, but the book decided for me. So I was like, okay. But it's very good. I really like it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what are you reading?
Well, I just finished Who Moves the Dead by Ursula Vernon, which is a mycology-themed retelling of the fall of the House of Usher.
Which I have not read.
It's about a once great house falling into ruin because of dark forces.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah. And I am currently in the middle of Puzzle House by Duncan Ralston.
You don't sound thrilled about it.
I have such mixed feelings about it.
How far are you into the book?
I've got just a couple chapters left.
Oh, see? Yeah. Those are tough. I always struggle with that, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners do too. Like when you start a book and it's just not doing it for you, like do you finish it because you feel obligated to do so because maybe it's going to get better? And if you don't finish it, at what point do you decide? Do you go halfway through? Do you go a couple chapters in? I don't know, but I feel like there's so many good books in this world. I have done a lot of DNFs the last couple years.
The only thing that kept me going on this one was that it's short, and I was like, I was a third of the way in before I realized that this book was going to be a stinker, and I was like, I'll just finish it. It's not
because it's not too terribly long. Yeah. Maybe it'll surprise you in the end, right? But you're not thinking so.
So the premise for our listeners out there, if you want to check out The Puzzle House by Duncan Ralston, is a death game sort of book where 6 people go into a house to receive an inheritance from a puzzle master who died.
Okay.
But each room is a death trap, and then you find out there's a bigger conspiracy behind the whole thing. And
it sounds interesting in theory.
That's what I thought as well.
And that's why you started the book in the first place.
Then it got some supernatural overtones.
Okay.
And I just...
You're not into the supernatural?
See, I love the supernatural. I just, I don't think that it works here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
sorry, Mr. Duncan Ralston, if you happen to be listening. It's not doing it for me. I'll probably finish it just because I'm so close, but meh.
You might as well at this point, right?
Just a few more chapters.
I just restarted Quicksilver too, and I don't know why I didn't finish it last time, but I did just start that. So that's a fantasy one. I like to do some light fantasies in the summer just because I tend to read really heavy stuff during like the winter. You know, a lot
Good.
of
Read the depressing, emotionally
I
affecting
do.
things during
I know
the
during the
emotionally
worst
affecting-
time of the year. I know. Exactly. All right. Do you want me to talk about some plants?
Yeah, what do we got?
Okay. I was trying to decide on what native plant to do.
Mm.
And this one is just looking amazing in my yard right now. It is the Eastern Red Columbine or the Wild Red Columbine. So this is a native plant to our area and to many areas, especially of the Midwest. And it's Aquilegia canadensis. That is its Latin name. So this one, the native one, is red with a yellow center.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of different varieties and cultivars out there. So like different colors. So I've seen them in blue. I've seen them in pink. Those are fine, but they don't have the same nectar count for all of our insects. But not just our insects. My hummingbirds have been all over these lately.
Mhm.
My hummingbirds like love these because they have long tubular flowers, and it's perfect for a hummingbird to stick their beak in there. They were actually ignoring my feeder, and they were at these plants this week, so that was great. So
Well,
it is one of my favorites.
it's one of those things where sure you can get the bottled water, but sometimes you just want to drink the fresh water.
I know, and I try to keep their water fresh. And I had not put up my feeders when I left for Scotland because I was like, I don't want anybody else to have to manage cleaning these and switching them out. So I forgot to put up my feeders. And I was in the garden Monday night and I had a female. Boy, she was not happy with me. She got right in my face
Well,
and she was looking at me straight in the eye. And I went, okay. And what did I do? I went in the house and I made her water and I filled up my feeders. But because I have also this red columbine in my yard, they were eating that as well. So at least they had some kind of source. So this is a perennial plant. It gets about 3 feet tall, maximum 2 feet wide. And they're really cool. Yes, the flowers are now, so it's an early nectar source for a lot of our pollinators. Even when it dies back in the summer, just the flowers die back. So the greenery stays there. And the greenery, the leaves are a really cool shape. They're really delicate looking. And this is one that you can put in part shade to full shade. So it's a really good plant if you have those shady areas and you want something nice. And the greenery will stay until the fall. So it'll still fill in. You just won't have pretty flowers. Probably for mine are probably starting to get to the end of their life, maybe 2 more weeks of flowers, but it'll still look pretty. So that's a really cool plant if you want to stick this in your yard. It does like most soils. It's really adaptable, but it doesn't like rich soil. So this is one of those plants that thrives on poor soil. So they tend to get really weak if you put them in an area that has really rich soil that has a lot of nutrients. It tends not to like that. So this is really like a woodland plant typically. It is also a host plant to the Columbine dusky wing, which is a butterfly. And as I said, it does attract all of our pollinators, our bees, our butterflies, our hummingbirds. And here's another thing. I have several of these in pots. So you can grow these in pots. You can overwinter them in pots. Just leave them outside and they do just fine. Not all of my perennials do well in pots. But this is one of them that does. So that is my... What? You have a look on your face like you need
I'm
to say
looking at this dusky wing butterfly.
Yeah.
That sure looks like a moth.
It could be a moth. I'll be
No,
honest. It's
according to the
okay. I thought I did look it up and I thought it said butterfly, but I do get confused.
It
So-
shares a genus with the skipper's butterfly, the Hesperidae.
Oh.
but it is a butterfly, but it sure looks like a moth.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I always thought butterflies, were the size of, say, a monarch. But no, we have a lot of really small butterflies here too. And it is hard to tell the difference, but one of the ways you can tell the difference is by looking at their antenna. If you can get close enough, if you can see their antenna, butterflies have smooth antenna and moths have like little hairs on their antenna that you can see pretty easily. So that's one way to tell them apart. I know that there's other ways. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I'm still learning. I know. I'm still learning a lot about butterflies and moths because they're related, but they're not the same. So
Not with that
I
attitude.
think butterflies are of the Lepidoptera and moths are not. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I have to do more research.
We're gonna put a quote on that. I'm gonna have it. I'm not.
Yeah, I know he's probably researching it right now,
I'm
so
not.
he can correct me.
I'm not.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Whatever. All right. And then I didn't have any questions this week, so I came up with a question.
Terrific. What do you got?
Okay. So everybody's planting right now. And I know for myself, I'm planting in my raised beds right now. And if you don't use mulch in your raised beds, whether it's for your vegetables or your flowers or your fruits, whatever it is, you're probably missing out. Okay. And this is why I say this, because a lot of people don't use mulch in their raised garden beds or with their fruits and vegetables that they grow. You absolutely should for a lot of reasons. It's going to help keep moisture in your soil. It's going to help keep away your weeds. So, and as it decomposes, it will slowly break down and give nutrients to your soil. That being said, there are better ones than others. So one of the ones I use all the time because it's cheap and it's easy to find is untreated straw. I just get a bale of straw. Friends of mine are farmers. I grab some straw. Technically, if you want it in your garden, it should be weed-free, but guess what? I don't use weed-free and I don't have a problem. So I'm not sure why maybe the seeds aren't in there when I shake it out, but it's a lot cheaper to pay like $6 or $7 for a big straw bale and to use that. And it's natural and it breaks down within about a year. Another great one to use in your garden beds is shredded leaves. Okay, I know. But here's the caveat, okay? The caveat, yes. Don't shred your leaves just yet here in Michigan. And this is why I say this, because in our leaves, there's tons and tons and tons of pollinators still overwintering because, as you know, we're still getting cold temps at night. So not everybody has come out of their dormancy yet, okay? If you shred those leaves, the problem is you're going to kill those pollinators. So your moths and your butterflies and all kinds of insects are in there.
And your butterflies that look like moths.
Correct. Yes. So if you're going to use shredded leaves, please wait a little bit. Don't shred your leaves yet. And don't burn them either because you're burning all those food sources. We have all these food sources that are in the leaves for our critters.
Well, I like some shredded leaves for lunch.
Well, you can just double check them. Double check them for critters because their little chrysalises can really look like dead leaves.
Well, I'm going to be really upset if I find a chrysalis in my salad.
Well, that's your problem. That's a you problem, man. Another thing that some people use, and this is more south, is a lot of people will use pine straw. Pine straw is fine as long as it is not fresh. So if you have pine trees, you don't want to use green needles that are dropping. If your tree is dropping green needles, that could be a sign of a problem. But the brown needles are fine. They're broken down enough. They're not going to make your soil acidic. So that's one of those things that a lot of people think if you use pine straw, it'll make your soil acidic. It won't as long as it's aged. Oh, I learned something doing research for this.
That's scary.
I know. If you are buying mulch by the bag, okay, I tend to buy it by a pickup truck load because A, it's way cheaper, And B, I use a lot of mulch, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm killing my whole lawn. I'm getting rid of most of my lawn. So that's what I do. I put cardboard down, then I put mulch on top of it. But I did not know this. If you are growing, this part I knew. If you're growing food, you want to use anything organic in your bed because you don't want anything with any kind of treatments. You don't want the chemicals. You don't want the dyes. You don't want that going into your food. Okay?
That's what you think.
That's what I know. Okay? But there are some bags of mulch that are actually certified organic. And on the back, on the label, it will say OMRI. That means Organic Materials Review Institute.
Hmm.
So that is an organization that you can go through and get a special certification to say, hey, I don't put dyes, I don't put chemicals, I don't put additives in this, because really you don't need it. You don't need it. I know some people like certain colors, but guess what? It fades anyway, right? And those chemicals go into your soil. So just keep that in mind when you are doing anything with food products, that you don't want anything treated going into your soil, because it can systemically get into your food as well. And we don't want that. And then when you put your mulch, why are you looking at me like that? Okay, he just does this to me just to mess with me. When you do put mulch down and you have your plants in there, and this goes for just about any of your plants, do not put the mulch all the way up to your stems. You want to give them some room because you don't want the mulch sitting against your stems. It will rot your stems and make your plant unhealthy. So just in general, you don't want to take all that mulch and stick it up against the stem of anything, including your trees. Okay, including your trees. So don't, if you mulch around your trees, fabulous. However, don't put it up against the trunk of the tree because it will start to rot because it'll hold too much moisture there. So we want to hold the moisture for the roots, not on the stems or the trunks. And that's all I got for our should I use mulch in my raised garden beds? Because I was doing that this week and I was like, I wonder if anybody else is going to do this because it could save you water, could save you time weeding. And like I said, it breaks down anyway, so it adds more organic material to your soil and it keeps it healthier. So
Terrific.
yeah, so that's my 2 cents for this week, the Eastern Red Columbine, and talking about our mulch in our garden beds.
Mulch.
Mulch is a great thing.
Nah.
Basically, my whole yard is like mulch. So, yeah.
All right. Let's tell our listeners what's going on at your local library.
Okay, you want to go first because you got more.
All right, here we go. The Friends of the Bedford Library are pleased to present Backdoor Book Drop. Drop off your used books, DVDs, CDs, and puzzles to the Bedford Branch Library. Donations are collected in the South Parking Lot, and all donations support the Friends of the Library Book Sale Room. This will be on May 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And just to let our listeners know, too, that anytime you donate any of those kinds of materials to our Friends of the Library and then they sell those things, that money then goes back into our programs here. It's why we can do so many free programs.
That's true.
So we are so lucky to have our friends being so supportive. And when our public supports our friends, it also supports your library. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking to get rid of books, we will gladly take your books and your CDs and your DVDs and your puzzles. So I just want to give my 2 cents. Okay. Happening at the Petersburg and Bedford Branch libraries.
Gasp.
K-pop club. This is super popular. Okay, super popular. Okay, so enjoy K-pop themed fun and hang out with other fans. I will tell you, our librarians who put this together, they put a lot of effort and time into this. And this past weekend, we had our the pop-up market here at the library for K-pop.
We did,
right?
yes.
We did. And Emily told me there was 145 people who showed up. So this is why I'm saying this is a big deal. Like a lot of people are into this. So if you are also interested, you can register online for this. June 12th, they're going to have an event here at the Bedford Branch Library from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to be a picnic. Woohoo!
Picnic.
So, yay. And then also August 21st from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, they're going to be doing crafts at the Petersburg Branch Library that have to do with K-pop. But just another little note here. This is for ages 15 and up. So just keep that in mind if you're doing this. So this is, there is an important note on here. I almost missed it. It says this program is dedicated to Korean pop music and not related to the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. So I wanted to mention that since it was there. Always read the fine print.
That is good to know. They're ready for a takedown, though. They're going to be golden. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Coming up at the Frenchtown Dixie Branch Library, we've got Quilt Love, Youth Beginner Quilting. This will be going on Tuesdays from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and runs May 19th through June 16th. Get ready for 5 weeks of creative fun in our quilting class, perfect for ages 10 and up. We'll be getting comfy and sewing. We'll get comfy with sewing machines and learn the basics of making a 40-inch by 48-inch quilt. They've got supplies. You register online.
Awesome. And I know that's another one that I think is, quilting and knitting and crocheting are really coming back. They're making a big comeback even with our young people. So I think that's why we have groups like that. So I think that's awesome. All right. Here. Oh, no, I am wrong. This is at Ellis Library. We have Outdoor Music and Movement Mondays. This is starting June 1st and will go through July 27th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, so again, at the Ellis Branch Library. You do need to register online. This is for ages 3 through 6. Oh, I would love to bring my grandson, but I am not going to be available. But anyway, we'll enjoy summer and sunshine with dancing, outdoor activities, and a little yoga on the library lawn. So bring a towel or a blanket. And in case of bad weather or if they're working on the lawn for any reason, they may move inside to the programming room. So that sounds like a super fun time.
All right. Next up for me, the Bedford Branch Libraries please present Social Security Benefits 101, coming Thursday, June 18th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The Bedford Branch Library is excited to announce a special webinar on Social Security benefits. If you are approaching retirement, it is more important than ever to understand the role that Social Security benefits can and should play in your overall retirement income plan. This will be with speaker Nikhil Majithia. I probably pronounced that all wrong. My apologies. Please register online.
That sounds like it'll probably be another good one, too. All right. So we have something that goes on here at the Bedford Branch Library that is really very popular. This is TCG night, so it's trading card game night. So join us every Thursday at 5 p.m. at the Bedford Branch Library for trading card game nights. Come play Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, and more. All ages are welcome. There is no registration required, but there is a note. You have to provide the cards. So playing cards are not provided by the library. Please bring your cards you would like to play with. Game mats are provided for Pokemon, One Piece, and Magic the Gathering, though. So there's a lot of people who show up for that one, too.
Do you play Pokemon?
I do not. I do not. Do you?
No. Let's see. I've got the Bedford Branch Libraries pleased to present Summer Music Series. 3 years running. Bring a lawn chair or large blanket to sit on and some cool beverages. Then enjoy a relaxed summer evening with friends and family. Special thanks to the Friends of the Bedford Library for sponsoring the music series events. The first one coming up will be June 10th from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. featuring Riptide, Jeremy McClellan, and the food truck Big Jarowski.
I had something from their food truck the other night, and it was very good.
Are you sure?
Yes, it was very good. It was pierogies, and they were lovely. Okay, I thought you would appreciate this one. This is why I pulled this one off the board.
I never appreciate anything. Go on.
This is at the Vivian Branch Library. On Wednesdays. They just had one last night, so the next one is going to be June 3rd and June 17th. It is Learning Cursive.
Learning cursive?
Learning cursive. I'm sure you know how to write cursive, correct?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. It was still in school when...
Regrettably.
Yeah, when I was a kid. So I do know how to read and write cursive. But I think this is really cool that it's making a comeback because it has been taken out of most school curriculums because of time. Not because it's not important, but because...
A little bit because it's not important.
Well, I do think it's a skill. I think it's a good skill to have.
I'm just giving you grief.
I know, but I thought it was very cool that there's actually classes to help this. So join us as we revisit this lost art of writing. It only takes paper and pencil and to try your hand at writing cursive, recommended for first graders through adults. And I think it would be really cool to do that. But I know a lot of people don't know cursive because it wasn't taught in schools. My daughter doesn't know cursive, but it wasn't part of the curriculum. So,
That's true.
Yeah. So, cool thing happening all over our library system, man. Just like always.
All over
Always. I know.
There's something going on somewhere, I'm sure.
We always have stuff going on. And now it's summer. Very quick on our heels, man. We got a lot of stuff going on.
All right. If you happen to be listening, actually, first, if you have a comment or question for Michele relating to gardening, please leave that in the comment section down below. If you are watching us on YouTube, do be sure to like and subscribe and hit the ring bell for notifications every time we post a new video. And if you're listening on Spotify, please be sure to like the episode and like the page as a whole because it helps with an algorithm.
I actually will add the picture of my book to our YouTube channel. Just because some people might want to read it. It is a good series. So.
Anyway, we'd like to thank you for listening. And this has been In the Library with
Michele.
And I'm Adrian. Yay!